What's up everyone? So Lin here, and as you've requested, so here's our post D-BT07 Dear Days deck tier list. So to start up, we have Bobsagra. Bobsagra right now is in a good spot in the rank fight. So it has 3 attacks in total, which gives a lot of attack pressure and to your opponent, especially with the Vanguard sitting at 2 crits along with Trick Moon. So I think Bobsagra deserves a at least A plus. Next is Eugene. Eugene have a recent support or restanding skill, but it helps the overall power pump of the deck, especially with the multi attack and hitting big numbers like what other decks can do. So I think Eugene is a high B. Next is Nirvana Jiva. Jiva right now doesn't have counter charge, which is definitely a big problem, which will be later solved in the later sets. Plus, the mechanic of cross overdress uses 2 cards instead of 1 from the usual overdress, which puts into a minus spot. So I think Jiva is a high B, better than Eugene. Mahar Nirvana. The Mahar Nirvana deck is a complete overdress package from sets 1 to 4. Plus, you can use the Espiridia restanding for the 4 to 5 attacks in the turn with big numbers. Plus, you can go grade 4 on your second turn, especially when you're going second. So I think Mahar is still in a better spot than Jiva. So I think Mahar is definitely an A. Next is Tamaura. Tamaura with broken toys with the recent PR in the DLC gives it a boost, but not having the new Rarami and Ririmi definitely not makes the deck to catch up with the other ride lines. So it definitely needs the D-BT08 support, which will be making later on when the new set drops. So for now, I think Tamaura is in also a B. Next, Bruce. Problem with Bruce is you need to set up your soul and your board so that you can have a kill final rush turn. If your opponent survives your final rush turn, you can keep a defensive hand and push another final rush on the next turn. It can win because it can use Brainwash Whirler, which definitely a plus 20k when you play the order card for Bruce. So I think Bruce is also an A. These tiers are not in particular orders. It just ranked by the category. So I'm just placing it in their corresponding tier orders and not by comparing to each one of them. So for Magnus, as you see that when we have the character tournament, Magnus won, and it is a good ride. It is a good deck overall because it can just spam 5 attacks, and when you fulfill the 15 soul, Vanguard pressure, board wipe, and such, it just needs a good piloting skill and some luck. So I think Magnus is also an A. Overlord. Overlord is Overlord. Just free stance, drive checks, check over trigger, power up your rear guards by multi-attacking with your Vanguard. So also an A+. It is one of the best bets to play for rank fight right now. JoJo World. JoJo World has an issue with Counterblast because you need to play Counterblast for the Soul Charge 2 and draw 1 for the Jewel skill and Counterblast for Rock Agur. But you can play Brainwash Whirler on the other hand, which power pumps your attacks. So I think JoJo World is an A also. It's a good bet to play in rank fight. Gridon is kind of a Overlord deck, but it doesn't do as much pressure as Overlord does, in my opinion. So, but it can win. Yeah, it can win. You have up to 7 damage and such, but again, the pressure isn't there, and uh, it needs your hand to put into soul to generate a restanding Vanguard turn. So I think it's a B. Next, Chaos. Chaos is good because of the board power up. You can play a full board plus 10,000 when you fulfilled its 13 card in soul different card name condition. But it is better when you have the Mikani for the multi attack. It even gets better when you have the new Mikani, the grade 1 Mikani that lets you soul charge and call a Mikani grade 3 from soul to rear guard. So for now, I think at least Chaos is in a B spot because of its consistency issues, and you need to build up your soul. Next, Bruce, the grade 4 Bruce. Yeah, same with Bruce. It also sits at A. Next, Bastion Prime. Bastion Prime, yeah, it's strong. Definitely A. Just hit your grade 3's drive check. Restand all of your grade 3's. Draw with Alden. Next, Hexa Orb is good, but not as good as the decks in the A tier. It needs the new Hexa Orb and its support in the new set. So for now, I think I put it on the B tier. Next, Agreya. Agreya is strong because you can ride any Agreya and able to put a Persona ride each turn for its consistency plus the order card, which is just another power. I think the issue for Agreya is not that big compared to other, and it's one of the best bets right now, so I think it's an A. Majesty Lord. Majesty Lord MLB is a B. 3 attacks at most you can do, plus keeping at 15k base doesn't do as much. I think I put it on maybe B. B or B, it's arguable C or B. But for respect for IG, I think I'll put it on B. Because the crit pressure is always there. Phantom Blaster Overlord. For attacks, hits numbers, can retire. It's a good bet, but think not as good as those in the A, so I'll put it on A+, so I'll put it on A. Youth Burke, definitely an S, no need to talk about it. Westra definitely needs some help right in this set because it is not yet as built compared to other ride lines, so I think it's a C. for now until the next set comes, and with the other PRs, it will move up from here to here. Next, heroes. Heroes again need some help. Needs the support from the latest sets because it can't do as much when it was first released. So I think I'll put it also on C. Eva, an S. No need to talk. You have grade 3s that can hit numbers, can have shield, can retire, can superior call, can filter your deck. So it's definitely an S. Next is Gravidia. Gravidia is strong. It's a good bet, especially to those good reliant decks. Plus, it can auto win sometimes when your opponent doesn't perfect guard your Vanguard. So I think I'll put it on A+. Next, Orbis. Orbis is very strong when going first and when you don't hit your defensive triggers. Plus, when it builds Shadow Army tokens, especially on the back row, to be able to boost on its new token's turn. It can outright kill you. So, it's also a good bet. Orvis is also a good bet. So, it's also an A+. Next, Prison. Prison is kind of struggling right now, I think, with how these decks can easily manage around their resources more, and how can they abuse the cards when called from Prison. So I think Prison is in the A right now, but not in the A+. Blackberg. Blackberg is very strong because it draws, it guard restricts, it multi-attacks. The only downside for Blackberg is that it needs certain amounts of CB to be able to fully function around it, the combo, to maximize its skill. So I think Blackberg is also an A+. Since the PR is also here anyways, and the new set and the D-BT07 drops, which have a Blackberg support. Next, Leonard. Leonard, I think is an A, but not an A+. There is certainly CB issues around this ride line because you have to use Dianta, Resonance Dragon, Leonard's skill to keep up when your opponent retires your rear guards, to draw cards, to multi attack. Leonard has a very big Vanguard attack though, but sometimes it is not enough, especially when your opponents have a big card in hand or have multiple PGs in hand. Next, Magnolia grade 4, Magnolia Elder. I think Magnolia Elder right now is in B, even though Inlet is unbanned, because it doesn't hit numbers compared to other. Plus, yeah, you can draw cards in hand, but none of them really have a big amount of shield to be able to guard on your defensive turn. Plus, it is also prone to board wipe, which can really hurt overall. But Magnolia, the Magnolia grade 3 is an A for me because of the Persona Ride skill from the new support, which lets you also gain plus 10k to the back row, which is definitely a big plus. Plus, the +1 from your Persona Ride helps you fill your board. So, I put it on A, having better odds than Magnolia Elder. Next, Roroa. I think Roroa right now is not that struggling compared when it was once first released, since it has already the new PR right now. But I think it can be still be better when the new set drops, because we already know that when the new set drops, it can do much more pressure and much more consistency on the new supports on the set 8. So for now, I'll put it on B. Sorga, Brave Sorga and Sorga. Both of them are good because yeah, Alchemagic is a thing. Spear Call from drop plus crit and power is a thing. Multiple drive checks. So, but the problem with Sorga is you need to build your orders in your drop and good piloting skill to be able to really utilize his skill. So I think Sorga is an A, both of them. Alestiel is good, but not as good as other Lyrical Monasterio decks. And it is the first wave of lyrical support compared to the latest lyrical support, which is already the power creep version. So I'll put it on C. Same with Clarissa, also a C. Feltirosa, the front row power issue unless you Persona Road, also a C. Herminia, also a C. Oh no, I think Herminia can be better, around B. Still kinda arguable. I think I'll put it on B. Kyrie is one of the good bets right now. I'm seeing a lot of Kyrie when I played in ranked fights, and it's still a good deck with Melty. So I'll put it on A+. It builds hands. It hits insanely big numbers. Have a full board and provides consistency. So still an A+. Lorone roll still lacks support, C. Portia, B. Friends is a thing. It has a withstanding Vanguard, hits big numbers. New support drops from the latest lyrical set, B. Release to C. No support yet. Chronojet, S. Definitely an S. The best deck of the format right now with Utgurk. Definitely an S. Next is Hazoret. Hazoret is good because it provides power pump like what Bastion do. It can multi-attack. The problem with Hazoret is that one, you need to bot deck cards from your front row to be able to utilize the multi-attack. Plus, you need to hit numbers, which means you need back row boosters to be able to do so. So, I think it's a B. Next is Kyoka. Kyoka is like what Hazoret does. It is also good because it multi-attacks, provides power pump. It has Kyoka have counter charge and filter, but I think it's not as good as those decks in the A, so I'll put it on B. Next is Lilfa. Lilfa is also good because of the multi-attack, but its attack pattern is kind of same with Kyoka and Medjel, I think so. With the same issues, of course. So I think she is also in B. Next is Lutetia. Lutetia is like an overlord and like a Gridon, but with order cards, and it is one of the best or the good decks right now in the format, so I think I'll put it on A+. Next is Mediel. Mediel is good because it has the skill to super call from drop and check the top of your deck, which is definitely a plus, even though it's counter best 2, but it can utilize around its support, so its issue lies again with how you can use the pieces around her, even though all of these Lerca Monasterio can use Yuika. But that doesn't mean that Yuika can definitely push her up into the deck or the ride line as a whole, so I think she is also in B. Next is Michu. Michu is strong because it can, again, multi-attack, hit numbers, multiple drive checks, and hit your opponent's board. But it's not as strong as Lutetia, but it can, and it can be a bet when used in the rank fighting your days post D-BT07. So I think I put it on A. And to sum it all up, here's our Dear Days tier list for post D-BT07. Those in S, A+, and A are the good bets right now. Those in B are the rogue decks, while those are in C need some help or definitely needs more support overall to be able to win a lot of games in rank fights for Vanguard Dear Days. That's all. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.